other person as I'll be able to track. So let's begin our class. And from your basic understanding, what do you understand from computer networks? I'll try to. So by the end of this lesson, what do I expect from you? By the end of this lesson, I expect that you'll be able to explain the meaning of a communication network. You'll be able to explain the uses and benefits of a communication network, and basically to describe the different types of networks. So basically, a computer network is any combination of two or more computers that are connected for the purpose of resource sharing and also for communication purposes. As you can see the diagram below, uh, that is a diagram basically that shows a basic network layout. You may have a computer, you may have a printer, you may have a switch, all of this connected for the purpose of resource sharing. You'll be able to share resources such as printers, and you may also be able to share for communication purposes. So moving on, we can be able to see, just a minute. So basically, we are moving on and to be able to see the different types of networks. So there are many types of networks, and the first classification of networks is based on their geographical location, how big they span. And in this category, we have a local area network, we have a wide area network, we have a personal area network. Probably you're connecting your laptop with your mobile phone, and you also have a metropolitan area network. Basically, a metropolitan area network comes from the word metropolis, which is a French word that means a town. For example, you're connecting all computers in a town. If you're connecting all these computers, then you are forming a type of network known as a metropolitan area network. So we are proceeding on, and I'll be able to show you a diagrammatic representation of how this network of how the network looks like. Basically, a local area network. So we have a diagrammatic representation of a network. A local area network, this is how it looks like. For instance, you are connecting networks in a building. We have a personal area network. You have your two laptops, or your laptop and that of your friend. You have a phone, you have an earphone. When you connect all this together, you are able to form a personal area network. We have the other types of network, a wide area network. This basically spans a larger geographical area, let's say a town, a city, it may even be worldwide. Will be able to form a wide area network. So I'll ask you, so what do you think is a campus area network? What do you understand by a campus area network from the word campus area network? George?
Yes,
Yes. What do you
teacher.
what do you understand by a campus area network?
I think it's a network
Uh-huh.
in a university like ours,
Uh-huh, yes.
or in a campus.
Yes.
Yes.
That is very nice. Yeah, a network that may be formed probably like in a university setup, or even in a military organization. When we have such a network, then we are forming a campus area network. Then we have a metropolitan area network that I had explained earlier. So we will move on to there's another classification. Besides having the classification based on their geographical location, we also have a classification of networks based on the mode of administration. How are you managing this network? And under this category, we have a peer-to-peer network, and we have a client-server network. So basically, a peer-to-peer network is when you are it's responsible for sharing its own resources. Basically, you're connecting two computers directly. In this kind of setup, we are forming a peer-to-peer network. We also have a client-server network, whereby we have one central computer that is managing all the resources for the other computers. So when we have such an organization, whereby it's the server that it is administering the other computer, it is the server that is sharing all these resources, then we are forming a client-server model. So we have a simple mid-session quiz. From what have explained, what do you understand by the term peer-to-peer network? I can see, Evelyn, I can see your hand is up, so kindly explain to us what you understand by peer-to-peer network.
A peer-to-peer network
Yes.
I think it's a network
Yes.
where you connect maybe your resources.
Uh-huh.
If it's a printer to a printer, or if it's a computer and a computer. I'm not so sure, but that's what I think.
Yes, that is a very good trial. Congratulations for that. So basically, we are connecting computers directly. You are connecting networking devices directly so that they are able to share resources directly. In that setup, you are forming a peer-to-peer network. Jacinta, I also see your hand is up. Kindly explain to us what you understand by a client-server model.
The model
Yes.
is a model whereby we have one superior computer that
Yes.
is serving a client. That is, the client depends on the server.
On the server. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for all the resources.
Thank you so much. I see all of you are understanding. So when we have a network gives us very many benefits. If as an organization or if as an individual I decide to connect all my computers and all my devices, I'll have some benefits. Some of these advantages are resource sharing. Instead of buying very many printers, I can just have one printer or even one modem, and I can be able to share it within the organization. Then for connectivity purposes, we may have increased speed, reduced cost. We don't have to buy very many devices, centralized software management, and we also have flexible access. These are some of the benefits that come with connecting our computers. So, however, despite the advantages that we have seen, there may be other disadvantages of a computer network. For instance, for a small organization, we may have to consider cost. The cost of installation may be very high, and it also requires time for administration. For instance, you may have to hire a network administrator to manage your network, and this may not only be costly in terms of monetary value, but also in terms of time. So networks have various applications. We can be able to use network for sharing resources such as printers, sharing expensive software and databases, for communication purposes, and also for sharing information over geographically wide areas. So for components of a computer network, this one we'll be able to look at it in our next class. We'll not be able to cover it right now. But now the assignment that I'm giving you is that, but before we do the assignment, so what have you learned today? So anyone can unmute and kindly say what you've learned today.
Today you've talked about, I've learned about peer-to-peer and
Yes. Uh-huh.
client-to-peer network.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Any other person, what have you learned today? George, I'm seeing you're having a...
Hello, Mwalimu.
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
I have also learned.
Uh-huh. About networking. Okay, seems I lost your audio briefly, but now you can proceed and type it on the chat what you've learned today. But now the assignment that I'm giving you, I want you to sketch and explain the advantages and disadvantages of a star topology, a bus topology, and a ring topology. This assignment, kindly forward it to my email, which I have indicated below, and then we'll meet in the next class. But finally, we end with a quote that the good news about computers is they do what you tell them to do, and the bad news is that they do what you tell them to do. So ensure that you tell them to do the right thing. Have a nice day, and let's meet in the next class.
Have a
Thank
nice
you
day too.
so much.
Welcome.